Hello everyone and welcome back. Today in this video we're going to be going over a Magicka Warden build. This is not Ice Mage, this is an actual Magicka Warden. A good, solid, trial ready DPS build, not a role playing build. Magicka Warden. Now, as you can see I am sporting the pink dye and October is breast cancer awareness. So if there's anything you would like to do, if you can see if you want to help out, I will leave a link to a kind of a breast cancer navigator website that has a ton of websites that you can check out to see if there's anything you would like to do, whether it's charitable donations or volunteer your time. We all know somebody that's been affected by it, so that link will be in the description if you would just like to share it, or if you yourself would like to see what you can do. So, on to the build. I'm in High Elf, Magicka Warden. My max Magicka is 39.3k, my max health is 16.8, magic recovery is 796, and it is relatively on the lower end, but I think I'm using the basic pie stat food, yeah. So DPS goes up a little bit higher, but your max Magicka drops. So, anyways, I have 64 points in the Magicka, my spell damage is 2.1k, and my spell crit is 54.9%. I have 14.5k physical resistance, or 14.5k spell resistance, and 11.8k physical resistance. The boon I'm running is the Thief. I'm using basic buy stat food. Now, champion points. Apparently I have not put these last 10 points in. So, either way, I have those 10 off. I'll just say with what I have here. I have 28 into Warlord, 16 into Sprinter. I have 56 into Tenacity, 75 in Arcanist, 44 into Tumbling, 31 into Shadow Ward, 56 into Elfborn, 75 Elemental Expert, 21 into Spell Approach, 39 into Staff Expert, and 28 into Master at Arms. I have 31 into Thermometer, 22 Spell Shield, 12 Light Armor Focused, 75 Hardy, 75 Elemental Defender, 43 Quick Recovery, and 23 Bastion. So, sets. Well, I guess I'll start from the bottom on this one. 3-piece set. I'm running Willpower on Jewelry, all arcane, all spell damage. Willpower is an old set. It's been around for a long time. Still nice, still good to use. Adds 1400 max Magicka for 2-piece. Adds 186 spell damage for a 3-piece. Now, the 5-piece set that I'm running is Master Architect. I'm running Divine Shoes, Divine Breeches, Divine Hands, Waist, and Chest. Now, you can run infused on the big pieces, the chest, heads, and the chest, head, and legs, all with max Magicka. And it would probably be better, honestly, because I was waiting to see how this would work out with my Undaunted up. I think I am extremely close. I think I am a couple points away from that. Yeah. So I'm at 7. I need 2 more to fully get Undaunted up. So these stats will go higher with Undaunted. Plus, I'm rocking a 5-2 setup because I have not gotten a medium shoulder yet from the chest at all. But I have a heavy reinforce, so that is what I'm rocking on my monster set. The monster set is Zons, of course, as you can tell. A infused heavy head with max Magicka, and a reinforced shoulder with max Magicka. You would want this medium because in light armor setup, you definitely want the 5-1-1 setup. It is definitely the best way to go. Anyways, Master Architect, what this does is it gives you max Magicka, it gives you Minor Slayer at all times, increasing your damage done to and draw monsters by 5%, adds 124 spell damage, and when you use the ultimate ability, you and the closest 2 allies within 20 meters of you gain Major Slayer for 10 seconds, increasing your damage done to dungeon and draw monsters by 15%. You have a very cheap ultimate in the Bear. It is absolutely amazing. When it comes to it, you have, so itself, on summon 75 ultimate, it launches a huge attack. I have seen that bear in a trial hit for 100k on his slap. It is absolutely ridiculous right now. I don't know how to put it other than it is absolutely ridiculous. Zons, what it does is it gives you spell crit. When you damage a nearby enemy with a light or heavy attack, you have a 20% chance to create a beam of fire that will connect you and your enemy. The beam deals 4.9k flame damage every 1 second to your enemy for 5 seconds. Every second, this damage is increased by 50%. The beam is broken, the enemy moves 8 meters away from you. This effect can occur once every 18 seconds. This goes off a lot, and when it goes off, it hurts, and it will hurt a lot. If you don't have Zons, because Zons drop from Skullcaller, you can go Valkyrie Scoria or Elambris. Those would be my other two options. Groftar for more AoE damage, because this set does not have a lot of this setup does not have a lot of AoE damage, more of a single target. So Groftar would be good, or you can go with Lambrus. But Scoria tends to put out some AoE damage as well with that meteor, and it does a lot of damage, and it gives you more health as well. If I go range, I tend to switch Zons out with Scoria. Sets. Backbar. I'm using Maelstrom Inferno Staff infused with a shock damage enchant. Shock damage enchant mostly for the 4-man content, just to help proc concuss. In most trial setups, in most trial runs, I switch out the shock damage enchant for a flame damage enchant. So, of course, Maelstrom, your light and heavy attacks do an additional 1.3k damage to enemies in your wall of elements. So it definitely powers up a lot of your abilities. See, like I'll show you. So you see you got, Zon's already fought, so it gives you a little example of how much damage that can actually do. It does a lot. So let me dismiss my bear real quick. That way I can get more of a showing. So the light attacks by itself deals 8.3 on a crit. So with Zon's down, 12.3 on a crit. So he makes a huge difference in just light attacks in itself. So front bar, I'm using a Master's Inferno Staff infused with a flame damage enchant. Now what the Master's does, it reduces the cost of destructive touch by 30%, increase the direct damage it deals by 2,000. So I'm using that on the front bar. Essentially, it's just, that's my Fletcher. So essentially that's just going to hit 14.1, 8.3 by itself, 14.1. So it just does a lot of damage, and it's a huge dot. So that's pretty much it for the jewelry. For the food, you can run bicep food, you can run DPS, or Witch Mother's Potent Brew. My bad, not DPS, but Witch Mother's. So skills. Front bar, we're running Inner Light. Basically, while all your max magic is increased by 5%, you gain major prophecy, increase your spell critical rating by 2.1k. Blue Betty. Call Betty next to your side, which restores 4,000 magic to you over 27 seconds and grants you major sorcery, increasing your spell damage by 20%. When next you summon it, it removes one negative effect from you. Elemental Weapon. Infuse your weapon with power, causing your next light attack used within 2 seconds to deal an additional 8.9k magic damage to apply the burning, concussion, or chill elemental status effect. The reason why resources are refunded for light attacks not used. The reason why I'm rocking Masters over Asylum, because the fact I'm using Willpower, Master Architect, Maelstrom Backbar, it leaves you can use either the Asylum or the Maelstrom, or Masters with the Maelstrom. Now I'm using the Masters over the Asylum because of the fact I'm running Elemental Weapon as my main hit. If you don't have Somerset, if you don't have Elemental Weapon, or don't want to be bothered with that, you could rock the Bird, the Screaming Cliff Racer, or you can go Force Pulse and put Asylum here. But because I'm rocking Elemental Weapon, it essentially does the same as the Asylum staff. So that's why I'm rocking this. Flame Clench, using the Master Staff, so I'm using Flame Clench. Devastate an enemy with an enhanced charge from your staff, dealing 8.5k flame damage and an additional 8,000 flame damage over 8 seconds. Also knock enemy back by 5 meters. Fletcher. Now, hold on. I've got one on me. Okay, so there we go. So the initial damage is unleash a swarm of Fletcher flies to release the relentless attack enemy, doing 19.9k magic damage over 10 seconds. Every second cast of this ability, a 50% more increase. That should have been higher. Okay, so that's the first one. Alright then, so we'll do 50% more damage. And you'll know if you have it, because you'll see your hands are glowing like that. And it'll tell you down there at the bar. If you look at your buff bar, you'll see the icon up there on the logo. So you cast it, and then it goes away. So, the bear, your ultimate. You got to have this double bar, because if you don't, it will go away. Rouse a grizzly to permanently fight by your side. The grizzly swipes an enemy, dealing 4.5k magic damage, and sometimes swipes all enemies in front of it, dealing 17.3k magic damage. Summon for 2 seconds. Once summoned, you can activate Guardian's Wrath for 75 ultimate, causing the grizzly to maul an enemy for 22,000 magic damage, dealing 100% more damage to enemies below 25% health. Once every minute, the grizzly respawns when killed. Let me go ahead and summon up the grizzly. I think I have my ultimate built up, so I should be able to cast it. So, under 25% health. So he's at 23. The bear's attacking him. Now what? He dropped quite a bit. I wonder why it didn't show up a number. Alright, that's weird. But either way, I've seen the thing. For some reason why I didn't put a number there. But I've seen him hit for 100,000. It is ridiculous. Back bar. Not bad on that. Had a non-healer in a vet dungeon. Inner light. Harness Magicka, because you want to keep this on both bars, so that way you get your max Magicka is increased by 5% and you get major prophecy on both bars. Harness Magicka is your shield. Surround yourself with a net of magic negation to absorb up to 14.7k damage over 6 seconds. While active up to 3 times when spell damage is absorbed, you restore more than 3k magic. Each piece of light armor increases the magic restored by 5%. Channel acceleration. Bend time and space around you to gain major expedition for 9 seconds and minor force for 36 seconds. Increase your movement speed by 30%, critical damage done by 10%. So if you don't have this, this is from the Sigil skill line. If you don't have this, you can go with Rearming Trap or Trap Beast, whichever one. If you don't have it, Morph. Rearming Trap is the way to go. It's a stamina ability, so you're not using Magicka, but I like the channel acceleration. Winter's Revenge. Conjure an ice shard at the target location to skewer enemies in the area, dealing 2.2k frost damage every 1 second for 12 seconds. Reduce the movement speed of any enemy hit by 30% for 3 seconds. This is one of your AoEs, your ground AoEs. Blockade of fire. Slam your staff down to create a flame. Flame and barrier in front of you, dealing 2,000 flame damage to enemies in the target area every 1 second. Burning enemies take 20% more damage from this ability. So essentially, you're going to apply burning with this, so they're going to take more damage from this as well. And then, of course, you have your Grizzly again on your back bar. So, that is essentially the setup, the moves in general. With most of the rotation, you're going to buff up. Channel acceleration. What I like to do is charge a heavy attack, launch, and then flame edge, Betty clench, and then fire off about 2 elemental weapons, and then backward. If it's a long fight, usually I'll do that. I'll stop at 2 elemental weapons, turn around, blockade of fire, charge up a heavy attack, shards. That essentially keeps that up at all times, and then go back to the rotation. It's a very easy rotation. It's very easy, very easy. So essentially that would be the rotation, and then you throw your bear in there in between. When you have your bear ultimate, when you lay down your blockade, instead of doing a heavy attack instead of shards, do your bear. So you essentially cast your bear, throw your shards down, and then continue on with the rotation. And then just buff up as needed in between as the rotations. So, that is essentially everything. Fully buffed, and I'll let you see the damage. Spell damage is 2.6. Actually, that is not fully buffed. Let me proc my... Actually, no, I'm not using a weapon damage enchant, am I? I am not. So if you want to, you can put a weapon damage enchant right here if you want to push that a little higher. But for the most part, you're looking at 2.6. Yeah, 2.6, 54.9%. This is mostly your stats fully buffed. So, if you rock Dubious over this, your stats will go down just a tad bit. Max stamina is 37. Your max magic is 37.2. Your max health is 16.2. Magic recovery is 1.6. So, yeah. So that is the build. Hope y'all enjoy it. And until next time.